Chris Booth is a seminal New Zealand artist who has significant works all around the world. A fascinating background working with such sculptural masters as Barbara Hepworth. Chris's sculptures are earth sculptures, so he always sources materials from nature. Each of the materials he chooses are very sacred. They're almost imbued with an inner spirit, which he shows in the works. He brings it out.
I try to make my work a part of the place, and usually, if it's a commission, I'll use local stone. I have a policy that when I go to a place to come up with an idea, I first of all look at the geomorphology and the geology, then the flora and the fauna, and then the social history, and from all of that, I'm hoped to get an idea of what to do. That's all over the world. This is the way I work.
We have a very special work on the Brick Bay property. It's on the private part of the section, and Christine and Richard commissioned Chris to make this work in 2003. It's called Terra. It brings to mind ancient works like on Easter Island. So these amazing boulders standing, and they're balanced, and it's very beautiful, and it's carved into the side of a hill.
I won't put a work there unless I get permission from the Indigenous people, and in Tortora's case, that was all blessed and it was all done. Richard rang me up. We'd met somewhere before and he was already respectful of my work. He said, look, I've discovered these incredibly huge boulders up on my farm, up in a farm called Tortora, in fact, up towards Wellsford, the back road from Matakana to Wellsford. He said, come down and have a look at them. So I came down and looked at them, and these massive, massive rocks, just up my alley, absolutely. I was immediately absolutely passionate about the prospect of doing this, but realised equally, because of the huge works that I've done in the past, what a challenge it was going to be. But they're like huge marbles, like they're all, as you know, smooth and huge and sort of almost teardrop shaped. And the whole idea, of course, with the sculpture was that they not have the big broad base at the bottom, but the tiny stiletto end as the base, and they're bulging up like this.
And then we have another sculpture at Brick Bay, Te Waimate. Stands around 5 metres tall, and it's river stones from all around New Zealand.
These are like poetry to me. Each one of these are a word. And I have at least 1/3 more stones when I'm building these. I have all the stones laid out, like the words of a dictionary, and I'll select the stones as I go and try to make poetry with them. And poetry has got if it's a good poem, it's got a real essence in it, and or spirit in it. And I am always trying to achieve that. I don't know whether I do achieve it, but I am always trying to achieve that sense of spirit in my work. And this work here is all about, as I said before, empowering. It's empowered by the forest around it. And I'm hoping that in its own little way, it's helping people look at the forest as well and maybe listen to the empowerment of the forest too.
Another new work we have recently from Chris too is called Earth to Sky. So Chris is quite interested in the connection between the earthly and the sky. He's got a series of these works called strata, which are stones, round stones between often flat, like a schist type stone. And you can see in it the beautiful layers of minerals, the different colours over the ancient history that have been built up under the earth.
I've done a smaller work here in Brick Bay as well. It's in the courtyard. I think probably since about 1991, when Alan Gibbs of Gibbs Farm commissioned me to do the first work at Gibbs Farm, which is I was inspired by the incredible sandstone stratas that occurred when the tide went out in the Kaipara. But those same stratas occur in the Pohuihui Gorge on the #1 highway, but also right through to Whangarei. And then since then, wherever there's sandstone stratas or schist stratas, I enjoy doing these slab, I call them boulder and slab or slab and boulder sculptures. And so this one here is a mini one. So it's just a small, playful, almost Zen-like work that I really enjoyed making, and hopefully someone will enjoy it in their garden one day. Yeah.
Chris Booth has got a long history with Brick Bay, but he grew up in Kirikiri in the Bay of Islands. He's quite well known for works like the Gateway in Albert Park in Auckland, or the Rainbow Warrior Memorial in Matauri Bay, also in Northland. Chris has got a beautiful new work that's just been installed at Brick Bay, and it's entitled Earth, Water, Sun, and it's a beautiful stack of 90 river stones. It's a little bit smaller than the scale he used to work at, but there's a lovely story about it in that it links to works that he created in Christchurch with his late friend Morris Terra. After Chris collects the stones, there's a very careful composition that occurs with putting all of the elements together. So with this new work at Brick Bay, you see this sort of idiosyncratic collection of stones. They're all different, it's not perfect, but that's sort of the whole idea. And they're sort of unified in this beautiful natural soft palette of ash, stone, these really soft earthy colours. This is a lovely time to come in and visit Brick Bay. It's still summertime, you can hear all the cicadas chirping still, but the heat has kind of gone out of the day, so it's very beautiful and comfortable. We've got lots of new works on show on the sculpture trail, 2 new works by Chris in fact, and we'd love to see you come into Brick Bay. If you'd like to see more details, you can find them on our website. Otherwise, just pop in, we're open every day from 10 till 5.